selected Swift GL or Vitara Turbo this month and you'll receive a free Sunny Life Summer Pack worth over $750. Go get summer with Suzuki and Sunny Life. See your local Suzuki dealer.
Welcome back to Tigers Talk again for another week. Last weekend, the Bears just too good as they've proven over many years. Gavin, Payne, I think this is a game that the Tigers should have won there.
Yeah, look, you know, early in the season, maybe you can get away with a little loss here and there, as we've said previously. But you know, they are one of the benchmarks of the competition. So, you know, I know a loss is still a loss, but a narrow loss against one of those top sides is encouraging.
Most definitely. You caught up with one of the players who's injured at the moment, poor old Maxi Lehmann.
Yeah, Max Lehmann, unfortunately. I had a chat with him a couple of weeks ago as well, a number of weeks ago now. He's done very well to get into the top squad here his first year at the club. All
right, and I got the pleasure to talk to Bennett Leslie, a player who's been at the club here for 5 years, and Bennett also talked about how close they came last weekend and their assignment against the Blackhawks this weekend. Always a pleasure to be in the same room as Bennett Leslie. Mate, the Tigers off to a flyer this year, one close loss to Manly, and then one that you should have won last weekend against the Bears.
Yeah, a bit of a hard one to swallow, but...
Got that up here, there you go.
Yeah, the team's coming together well. We've been talking about it. Just working on little things, and I feel against Burleigh we kind of strung that next step together, but yeah, there's a few more gears to go, and I reckon this team's definitely got a lot to show, and excited to see what happens.
A big win against the Jets. Other than that, you ground out close wins, which is good to see. In the past, if a side got in front of you, they'd probably let them go on with it, but no, not this side. They seem to be a lot stronger. You've been at the Tigers for how long, I don't know, but you're saying that these guys are actually in the grind for the full 80, regardless of what the scoreboard is.
Yeah, we've had a few games that we've, the Jets one was a good one for us.
Yep.
But we've been in the fight, and I'd rather be in the fight now early on in the year instead of at the back end where we're trying to chase the tail. And that's what I was saying before. Like, I reckon this team can do some damage in the comp, and I'm excited to see what can happen with them.
Well, a win you would have put you in the second spot actually on the ladder, but that's not what it's all about. UAA Stadium's a strong fortress for the Bears. They've been in the top 8 for like 1,000 years. Yeah. And it's a good shame to where you are at the moment. You've got to play the Blackhawks. They're not so well this year as either. They're coming down here, but you can't have those back-to-back losses in this competition.
No, you can't. And that's like one of the things that we've spoken about as a team is that we don't want to put like that back-to-back. If we lose one, we've got to try our hardest to win the next one back. But you can't take Blackhawks or any of the teams in these comps. But they turn up on the day and they'll do a job on you, so we have to really turn up against them guys and go the best we can.
Nothing showed passion than Tristan Hope's try on the weekend. I mean, he was just such a... He's such a passionate player, whoever he plays for. I know he's used to Seagulls, he used to have the passion there, but he just loves scoring tries, but he's the most team-orientated player I've ever met in the last 4 or 5 years, and he showed on the weekend when he scored that try.
Yeah, definitely. There's actually a good photo getting around. I think it's on the Hostplus page. And that's just of him just screaming at the guy who scored over. And yeah, he definitely gets around himself, so that's good.
Yeah, some of the tries in the some of the photos in the off season, Tristan Hope, not to be published at all, but that's another story. Mate, you sell your form. Obviously, you're coming off the bench here, but this day and age, the Hostplus Cup, the bench is just as vital as the starting 13, if not more important. And it's harder to get on the field and like merge onto the freeway that's just going 100 miles an hour, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. There's there's an abundance of good players in the comp, and like you said, like being on the bench, it needs that impact off the bench because the boys that are coming off are NRL or at that top level of the comp. that we need to step to that level and go to the same thing. I've been here, like you said, for countless years, and a few games this year we've had NRL players on the bench with me, and it's like, and the quality of players, like international players, and you're just like this team is stacked, and even this whole comp stacked. So it's good to see.
There's not a Tigers lineup without Bennett Leslie in there, really, is it? You know, just the crowd numbers will just drop if you drop it out. You just put his name in there anyway, Matty Church, even if he's not playing, just get the crowds through the door. Totally work with Stadium. How do you like the new stadium?
I reckon it's really good. It's great to see it. It's a bit different from what I've been used to coming here, but no, walking around it's real nice. Like you come out to play here again and sit up here with all you boys and have a few drinks. It'll be nice.
There's rumour that the far gates will be the Bennett Leslie Memorial Gates when you pass, which is another 50 years because you're a god.
Yeah.
See how you go. You can pick a gate, whatever, which one you want to get named after you, mate. It's up to you, of course. Hey, talking about players, international players, state players, the Brisbane Tigers, second on the ladder. Blackhawks this weekend. How do you go against the Blackhawks, mate? You say you don't know. I don't know anybody in that Blackhawks side. Do you know any?
Yeah, I know a couple of boys there. Kafusi, Jaden Hodges, Kyle Lehmann was there, but now he's at Sunny Coast Falcons. And they got a lot of young boys, a lot of boys from the Cows coming up. My pick to watch would be Jaden Hodges coming down from Northern Pride. He's a skillful player. He's been in the system. He's training with Cows now as well. And Kafusi always goes hard as he did when he was here.
Yep.
It'll be a good game.
How long have you been here?
This is my 5th season.
Is it really?
Yeah.
There you
It's
go.
the longest I've ever been at a club.
Because you were the Cutters before that?
Yeah, Cutters,
Yep.
and then I was with Sevens travelling doing that. And
Yep.
then I was with South Reserve Grade, Roosters Reserve Grade, and then Melbourne Storm.
And the Wyong-Roos?
I was at the Wyong-Roos, mighty Wyong-Roos. They were good there. Actually, Vaha was there with me. And,
Oh, okay.
Darren Nichols.
Yeah.
We played footy together there.
Wow. Jeez, that would have been... The gates would have just been smashed open with you and Desi in the same building. How good was that?
Oh, I don't think it would have been about us back in the day. It would have been more about having like Mark O'Mealy, a lot of Woodacare there. All the boys.
Yeah, never mind. Ben, listen, all the best on the weekend. You're part of a squad there that's doing very, very well for the Brisbane Tigers up against the Blackhawks this weekend. Totally Workwear Stadium. Get down, watch these guys do their business and get revenge from last week's loss. It was a close loss, one they probably should have won. Well, they go one better this weekend. Thanks for your time, man.
Thanks for having me.
Cheers, mate. Ta.
Welcome back to Tiger Talk. We are here with Max Lehmann this afternoon. Max, I couldn't help but notice you come in with a bit of assistance this afternoon.
Yeah, so I'm in the class right now. My last game against Mackay, about a bit over the second half, got fallen into by one of the other players and actually ended up tearing all my ligaments in my ankle.
Yep.
So no broken bones or anything like that, but got surgery the following week and on the road to recovery now. So yeah, almost there.
Mate, sometimes broken bones are better because they can put them in place and they can heal better than ligaments, in fact. So
Definitely time-wise.
you're done for a number of weeks?
Yeah, so first week this week. First week. So we'll be 7 more weeks until I'm back. So around 14, 15, I should be back.
That must be so disappointing. Like, you've obviously, first year at the club, we were just saying before, you've worked hard during the pre-season, you've done all that slogging, hard running and everything else. You get a couple of games into the season and then you're out for 6, 8, 10 weeks or whatever. So how are you dealing with that?
No, it's definitely bittersweet, especially, we started pretty hot for the year, especially myself. We've got a lot of joy in the first set of the games, but there's not much I can do about it, and so I'm the kind of person that doesn't like to cry over spilt milk. So I'm kind of just doing the most I can, the best I can, and getting through it as fast as I can, really.
So do you get out of the cast in a few weeks, and then you can sort of start to do a bit of rehab as well?
Yeah, so a week from now I'll get it out, and I'm straight away walking on it. I'm counting the seconds down until then. So.
Yeah. So your first year at the club, as we said earlier, and when we were talking off air as well, what's your history? Where have you come from? How did you get here?
So I grew up in Sydney, Northern Beaches.
Yep.
So I was a Manly junior for about 8-9 years.
Yep.
And I went to Parramatta last year. I had a season-ending injury in 2020.
Yep.
So I decided to move clubs for a fresh change, and then went from Parramatta and got an opportunity to come up here and train with the boys, and then go down to Melbourne for a couple of weeks. So it's been really good. I really enjoyed Brisbane so far. It's been real fun.
Who's impressed you in the Tigers so far? Who's the?
To be fair, all the boys actually exceeded expectations coming here. I didn't know much about the Queensland comp, and I know that we scraped into the finals last year and then ended up losing the first week. But to be fair, I think you got Solomon Fatapa. He's always been a dynamic ball runner, and then the boys that come back from the Storm as well. Your Jordy Grants, your Jonah Pezzets, they're really showcasing what they learned down there. So it's definitely across the board has been really impressive.
Coach Matty Church is his first year at the club. He was here previously in a lower grade role many years ago, because I was helping him with a bit of an assistant coach with him in those days. How have you found Churchy?
I really enjoyed Church. His coaching philosophies, and he's a really hard worker. I bet when you speak to him, he wants to be the hardest working person in the room, and so he definitely lives by that. And you can kind of see it through his coaching philosophies and how he speaks about football and his dedication, his passion for it. So like when you come to training, he's done the hard work. He's ready, he's prepared. So it's really kind of comforting to have that as a player.
He did a fair apprenticeship as well through the lower grades and then through the senior grades as assistant coach as well. So his start as the Tigers has been very promising this year, and we're looking forward to it continuing into the future and into some finals and so forth.
Yeah.
All the best with your recovery.
Thanks,
Hopefully
mate.
everything goes well and you're back on the field fighting fit in no time.
They're looking forward to
Good
it.
on you,
Thank
bud. Cheers, mate.
you. Cheers.
The Premiership wrapped up last weekend, unfortunately for the girls, mate. There, a sign was already dished on the Saturday when Wynnum Manly won their game. But good season for the girls, better than last year.
Yeah, look, it is, and it's encouraging signs as well. They've got a good squad there together as well, so hopefully they can just add to that next year and improve even further and get up into those finals.
Yeah, the BNB Premiership finishes, but the Colts is just starting. Round 3 comes up this weekend. Last weekend, the Colts put the sword to the Bears after a big win against the Clydesdales. They got the Blackhawks, who 50 points on last week. I caught up with Casey Morgan, who was their player of the match for that game. Big boy, isn't he?
He's a big boy, and they breed him big in the country down south, don't they? So, yeah.
He's the big unit, and what he has to say about this weekend. All right, this guy is huge. Tell me I'm lying. Casey Morgan, he's a Colt. Mate, congratulations. Man of the match last week against the Bears, and a very good win against a very quality side.
Yes, thank you very much.
Very good. Hey, listen, how did you get here to the Tigers?
I moved up here from Port Macquarie.
Yep.
Our coach Mark Glidden, gave me a call, and I was very impressed with how I played down south, and got a couple of connections, and got up here.
Now, did you play against the Clydesdales as well?
Yes.
Both occasions, you guys have led, but you've gone on with it. You could put the cue on the rack, but both occasions against the Clydesdales, against the Bears, you did that, and you did that very well.
Yes, a couple ups and downs, but we held in there and got back to our process, and we got up, and a couple of things we need to work on, but obviously two rounds in, but very happy with the team.
There you go. You're the number 10 mate in the front row. How do you feel when you get taken off? Are you a bit cranky? But you got to have a rest.
Yeah, obviously we have a rest and like play big minutes, but obviously with the team needs, and we share it around, but it's all obviously for the team, and it's good to get a rest when you start blowing.
You got the Blackhawks this weekend. They absolutely slaughtered their opposition last week, about 50 points on the board. So it won't be easier at home against here at Totally Workwear Stadium. What do you know about the Blackhawks? Anything at all?
Obviously they're premiers from last year.
Yep.
Very hard team, very country boys, hard side, and obviously we're not going to take them very lightly. And they're a very good side every year they are.
You're about to go and do some video sessions right now, mate. When you're doing the video sessions, do you self-analyse yourself? Even though Glido might mention your game, do you actually sort of? I'm not saying shut out what Glido's saying, but do you actually analyse how you're playing with video?
So normally after the game on the weekends,
you go back and have a look.
If Glido sends us the video, we'll go and have a look and analyse how I play and guess things I can work on, and obviously look at the team and that. But the video sesh, negatives and positives we kind of focus on, and just what we need to work on for the week coming.
All right, what do you need to work on your game, mate, do you think?
My game, couple, I guess on the weekend, not enough inside push.
Okay.
Obviously when you get tired, you get a bit lazy, but we're working on that as well, and obviously our push is really, really important for us, but yeah.
All right. Hey, at the end of the year, you guys are going to pass a hat around and buy Glido a Christmas present. What do you reckon Glido look good with, an elf hat, something like that?
Yeah, something like that. Probably something to get rid of his grey hairs and stuff.
He'd shave that head. There you go. Mitchell Butler did it, so there's no point. I think Glido looked great, bald. But anyway, so there we go. Casey Morgan, congratulations. Man of the match last weekend against the Bears. See if you can do it again against this weekend against the Blackhawks. Won't be easy. You're at Totally Workwear Stadium in the middle of the day when it's nice and hot. But listen, all the best, mate, and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Thank you.
All right, Gav. Blackhawks this weekend. They're not travelling very well, but that's when they're a dangerous side. You know their coach quite well.
Yeah, nephew Aaron, coaching them up there. He's not too happy at the moment, I don't believe. So, they're a good side. They've been a good side, and they're going through a bit of a change at the moment as well with player turnover and so forth. So, you just got to beware the wounded bull.
Now, you look at it, say the Bears over the years. Obviously they've been up the high, and as have the Blackhawks, and they sort of came down, but. They will build that. There's some players. We looked at the roster they're running out against the Tigers this weekend. There's a few names we don't actually know, but then against a lot of players we don't know all over the competition, which makes it so much of an unpredictable season.
Yeah, and that's what happens every year in the Queensland Cup, isn't it? There's usually a reasonable turnover of players, and it gives players who have gone well the opportunity to further their career, and then gives up that opportunity to backfill those holes in the squads.
All right, this weekend, totally work with Saturday. Get down here and enjoy the facilities and everything that's going on down there. Your reunion's still starting to gather some momentum, mate?
All good, mate. I'm getting in touch with venues at the moment to determine. I've got a whole pile of names there, so we'll be here for the Redcliffe game. So that's in a few weeks' time, June the 10th, I think it is. So if you can't get there this week, get there that week.
When you're talking about facilities, you're talking about correctional facilities?
Some of them might have spent some time one place or another. I haven't really kept in touch with them the whole lot of time.
They're about to check them out after that weekend. But anyway, listen, Tigers Talk, get down to Tully Workway Stadium. Gav, always a pleasure. Mate, we look forward to seeing you next week.
Thanks, John. See you,
It'll
mate.
be too long.